And perhaps let me just show a video, Mr. President, during the Pride Month celebration. May I just show a video, Mr. President, for the body's consideration?
Sasalita na ano si Senator Joel na
Because this happened, Mr. President, during the Pride Month celebration.
ina-urge si Senator Joel.
And we wanted to find out if the commission, specifically the chairperson, and the commissioners were informed about this.
Happy Pride sa ating lahat! Ako po si Attorney Twyla Rubin mula sa Commission on Human Rights. Ang Commission on Human Rights po ay kasama ng buong LGBTQIA community para i-celebrate ang Pride Month. At ngayon, sa araw na ito, ang aming mensahe, meron kaming isang petition, isang love letter sa ating senador. Hulaan niyo sinong senador? Meron tayong love letter kay Senator Joel Villanueva at ang ating panawagan po, Dear Senator Joel Villanueva, dear senators at senators natin, no, lahat po kayo, sana pakinggan nyo ang boses ng ating LGBTIQ community. At ang ating sigaw, anong gusto nating ipasa? Sogie Equality Bill.
Thank you, Mr. President. May we know if the Commission on Human Rights actually signed the MOA between the CHR and the event organizers in this particular event, Mr. President, and had that petition, as mentioned by a certain Attorney Twyla Rubin, who is also present here today in this gallery. May we know, Mr. President, if there is such a thing as a petition and perhaps a MOA between CHR and the event organizers?
Mr. President, yung nakita niyo po sa video, ito pong nasa likod ko, siya po yung nagsasalita eh. Dun sa, during the event. And according to her, what's your name? Twyla. Twyla Rubil. You're a lawyer? Okay. According to her, it is the part of the mandate of the commission to advocate the rights of the LGBT, since the Sogie bill, according to her, has been pending in the Senate or both houses? Both houses for
May I
23
just
years, Mr. President.
get an answer, Mr. President, as to the CHR and the event organizers partnership? Is there a MOA, a partnership, a document that they signed? Is the chairperson aware of the representations made by Attorney Twyla? The commissioners aware
What was that event?
about it? Is she authorized to represent CHR and to echo what she just echoed in this August chamber, Mr. President?
There was no MOA, Mr. President, and I think she was invited to attend the Pride Month.
CHR.
And it was authorized. Whatever she said.
CHR was invited to attend.
Is she authorized, Mr. President, by the commissioners and the chairperson to say
Yes,
what she said?
She was authorized by the chairman. Did you authorize with the focal by the focal commissioner?
So the chairman authorized her to say whatever she wanted to say. For example, to petition this representation. Is that correct, Your
No,
Honor?
Mr. President, it was not the chairman of the commission. It was the focal.
So the commission is not authorizing her, Mr. President, because there was a petition and they were having a signature campaign. Is that correct? A petition addressed to this representation.
Only the commissioner authorized her. Focal? What do you mean by focal?
Mahirap po ito, Ginoong Pangulo, sapagkat akala ko po, ang buong pag-aakala ko sa Commission on Human Rights, ang bawat isa, individual
Yung
na Pilipino,
signal mo.
ang bawat karapatan ng bawat isang Pilipino ang nire-represent nila. Hindi po isang sektor lang. Bawat isang mamamayang Pilipino. Senador ka man o hindi,
It was
babae ka man o lalaki, i-represent ka ng Commission on Human Rights.
well, according to her, according to Attorney Twyla, it was upon the approval or upon the consent of the focal commissioner for women.
We have already established, Your Honor, distinguished colleague, that it's not the chairman,
Yes.
it's not the commissioners who authorized her to say whatever she wanted to say, to do whatever she wanted to do.
In accordance with decisions in this one.
Mr. President, may we know what is the status now of the petition? Are they intending to send the petition to this representation as echoed a while ago in the video clip, Mr. President?
What do you plan to do with the petition?
Because if she's saying that there's a petition, it appears now, Mr. President, that the commission is lying because they did not do anything. I did not get anything from the commission. I hope I'm...
Well, Mr. President, according to the chairman, the petition is still with them.
And they
still
have
in
no
their possession.
intention of sending the
And
petition to
yes,
this
they do not
representation
have- they do
as
not-
being mentioned on the video, in the video.
Well, according again to the chairman, they do not have any intentions of
So
sending it.
she was not authorized at all, Mr. President.
Well,
Is Attorney Twyla authorized by the commission, by the chairperson and the
not the
commissioner?
chairperson, but the focal commissioner. The
Focal,
one in
one
charge.
commissioner? How many
Yes, the one-
commissioners
The
do
one
they
in
have,
charge,
Mr. President?
I think it is Commissioner Faida Dumarpa.
So there's only one, Mr. President.
Yes.
Ganun po ba ang komisyon? Isang commissioner lang? Desisyon na ng buong komisyon po yung mangyayari? O hindi po? Dapat ho, majority at least of the commissioners, Mr. President. Why is the petition, by the way, addressed to this representation? May we know, Mr. President? Am I the Senate? Is Senator Villanueva the entire Senate, Mr. President?
Well, according to the chairman, the majority leader is the chairman on the Committee on Rules. That is why the petition was addressed to you, Mr. President.
So now the chairman is saying he actually authorized the petition?
Not really. It is still the focal
it's
commissioner.
confusing, Your Honor, distinguished colleague. I'm really sorry, Your Honor, Mr. President. I am not worried about my reputation, integrity, whatsoever, respect that I'm getting from some people of this nation. 18,459,222 voted for me in the last elections.
Sana all.
Mr. President, I am voted by these people to represent them. And I wonder, Mr. President, why is the commission being manipulated by a certain Attorney Twyla, Mr. President? May we again ask, Mr. President, because the certain Attorney Twyla is behind you, Mr. President, introducing herself in the video as part of the CHR. May we know what is her position in the CHR, Mr. President?
Ano position mo siya dyan?
And the division chief has been attached.
Division Chief of
Is the officer in charge of
of
the Center for Gender Equality.
Center
Mahaba yata yung position niya.
Well, she's the officer in charge of the Center for Gender Equality.
Were her statements official, Your Honor?
Based on previously released statement.
It's a mere
It
yes
was
or no.
based on a previously released statement, according to her. Mr.
I'm sorry.
It was based on a previously released statement, according to her.
Let me clarify myself, Mr. President. The videos I showed here in this August chamber showing Attorney Twyla saying what she's saying, yung statement po niya, official po ba yun? statement of CHR? Kasi kanina sabi po hindi eh. So ngayon po ba official na, Mr. Chairman?
What her statements?
Madali lang naman po yung tanong, Ginoong Pangulo. Naggawa po sila ng petisyon, may booth, nagpapapirma para petisyonin si Senator Villanueva. At sabi po, noong representante ng CHR, yun po ang kanilang posisyon. So ang tanong ko lang po, napakasimple. Ito po ba ay official na posisyon ng CHR? Sa yes or no answer, Mr. President. I don't think kailangang i-explain pa po, Mr. President. Hindi ho ba? I'm being tempted to lift the rules, Mr. President.
No, no, Mr. President, it's okay.
No, wala nga. So, sa tao ngayon,
So your state,
di ba sa tao ngayon, akala nila, binigay sa akin.
your statement official. Yung sinabi mo sa video. Yes. Based, to conduct a hearing.
Mr. President, nakatayo po si sponsor natin. Ako,
Mr. President, as far as their attendance is concerned, it is official. And based on what Attorney Twyla had mentioned in the video that you showed, based on the position of the commission, calling it was official on her part because she was calling for the Senate to conduct
calling me, Mr. President.
yes,
You have heard her
calling you to conduct a hearing with regard to the Sogie.
not really conduct a hearing, Mr. President. What I heard is a petition for me, for this representation. So again, may I ask for 100 times, Mr. President, is that an official statement coming from CHR? Yes or no? It's a yes or no, Mr. President. Mr. Chairman. I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, is that an official statement? Is that your position? Why is it so hard to answer?
Well, supporting the Sogie bill, Sogie Equality
Mr.
Bill
President,
is part of the official stance.
I don't want to listen anymore, Mr. President, because I think my question is very simple. Is the statement made by Attorney Twyla the official stand of CHR?
Yes,
Yes?
yes.
You are calling, petitioning this representation? That is your position?
And other senators. Bakit si Joe?
No, no, no.
Senator Joe.
Okay, Mr. President, if that is your position, may I just move, Mr. President, that we lift and suspend the Senate rules so that the chairperson of the Commission on Human Rights would answer directly to the questions of this representation?
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion of the majority leader is carried.
Mr. President, maybe the best person to answer your questions is the
Mr. President, I'm sorry. I asked 100 times if this is the position of the commission, and the chairperson said it is the position of the chairperson, and therefore the chairperson should be responsible enough to answer these questions.
All right, if that is your
It is not, Mr. President, the commission is not giving me any choice here, Mr. President. They're saying that this is their position. It is their position to put up booths, Mr. President, petitioning this representation. Petitioning this representation. How else do you want me to react, Mr. President?
Okay, I will yield the floor to the chairman of the commission, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Will the chairman of the Commission on Human Rights take the floor?
Thank you, Mr. President. Chairman, magandang umaga po.
Magandang umaga po.
I hope that you are aware of what you just declared in this August chamber, that it is your position, Mr. Chairman, to have a petition addressed to this representation, to have someone from CHR by the name of Attorney Twyla to represent your commission and say what you just mentioned on the video screen that I showed you, Mr. Chairman. Now, my question, Mr. Chairman, if that is your position, may I know, Mr. Chairman, if you were able to read this representation's bill on the comprehensive anti-discrimination? May I know, Mr. President?
Not personally, Your Honor.
You haven't read about it?
There's a specific office in charge of.
Sorry, Mr. President. You have this position about Sogie bill, about a petitioning a senator of the Republic of the Philippines, and you have no idea of the bills that this representation had been espousing for the past two Congresses, the anti-discrimination bill. How could you have that position if you have never even read any of the bills that this representation has been espousing?
We equally support, Your Honor,
No. It's totally different, Mr. President.
Meron nga ako nung ano.
How could you come up with such a decision without even knowing?
May I be allowed to explain?
Yes.
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, just to put it in the proper context.
So I'm not in the proper context?
No, Your Honor. It's not what I meant, Your Honor. It's how this commission works, Your Honor. The commission is composed of four at the moment, 4 commissioners, 1 chair and 3 commissioners. We divide the works of the commission based on focal themes. So in matters affecting gender, concerning gender and sexual orientation and expression, it is handled by a focal commissioner. This activity, I'm sorry, Your Honor. This activity, Your Honor, was presented by the focal commissioner on gender to the Commission en Bank, and she represented that the commission would be participating in this event. And so the
Can I
commission,
cut you there, Mr. President? Because you're saying there's a focal. Hindi ho ba bago kayo magkaroon ng stand, kailangan yung mga commissioners, kayong lahat, pinag-uusapan po muna ito, hindi mauuna may focal, nag-decide na yung focal, tsaka nyo lang i-decide kung kailan kayo magkakaroon ng posisyon, Mr. President?
Your Honor, on matters of advocating for the passage of the Sogie law, the commission has a stand that is to advocate for the passage of that law.
Okay, let's just to cut to the chase, Mr. President, okay? You made mention and you admitted that you have never read this representation's bill on anti-discrimination law. Anti-discrimination bill. Is that correct, Mr. President?
Yes, Your Honor. Personally, Your Honor.
Unfortunately for me, Mr. President, hindi nyo pa pala nabasa, pe-petitionin nyo na itong representation na to. Hindi nyo po ba bina-violate ang karapatan ng representasyon na ito?
Well,
Hindi po ba ako po pwedeng madinig muna yung aking adhikain at ang mga panukalang batas na aking inihain dito sa Senado? Bago po kayo magdesisyon na pipetisyonin niyo po ako, bago po kayo magdesisyon na tatayo sa entablado, yurakan ng aking pagkatao, wag na po ako, yung ibang tao na lang. Hindi po ba tama bilang Commission on Human Rights? Hindi po ba?
Your Honor, it's part of the mandate of the Commission on Human Rights to advocate for measures.
To disrespect a member of the Senate?
We are not allowed to disrespect a member of the
How do
Senate,
you
Your
think
Honor.
you would feel, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, if I would be on the other side of the fence, na hindi ko kayo pakikinggan, na hindi ko po babasahin kung ano yung inyong programa, kaya nga ho pinakita ko kanina eh, pinasubmit ko kayo ng programa, bago ko sabihin na, uy, pare-pareho pala, kinat and paste nyo lang. Masama, hindi ko kayo pinagsalita at sinabi ko nga, akusahan ko pa ho kayo kaagad na cut and paste lang ang ginagawa niyong programang sinasubmit. Hindi ho, tinanong ko ho muna, galing ho ba sa inyo to? Hindi ho ba yun ang tamang proseso?
Your Honor, regarding the activity, yes, we agreed for the CHR to participate in that activity. But with regard to the petition, Your Honor, it was later found out by the commission after the event. That's why what we directed, the written petition was never sent to the good senator, as it has to
So, ibig
undergo.
sabihin, Your Honor, si Attorney Twyla lang ang nakakaalam ng petition.
Attorney Twyla,
Siya
Your
po
Honor.
yung nagbanggit eh.
Attorney Twyla and the focal commissioner.
Kaya nga, siya lang po yung nakakaalam. So, ibig sabihin
The focal
po,
commissioner.
mali po yung binanggit nyo kanina, it is your official position to come up with a petition addressed to this representation, which you never give.
The petition, yes, Your Honor, because it was Attorney Twyla and the focal commissioner. On the official position of the commission as a whole,
Kung may nakakaintindi pa sa amin dito, hindi ko alam kung puyat lang ho ako at matagal lang nagtatrabaho, hindi ko ho naiintindihan. Kasi ho, napakaklaro naman po eh. Posisyon po ba ng komisyon o hindi? Ngayon, hindi nyo na posisyon. Si Attorney Twyla na lang at focal person.
Mr. President, if I may, do you have any plans of sending the petition to the majority leader?
yes, Your Honor, there was a discussion already by the commission and bank on this petition.
Yeah,
When
what-
we learned about it, it was the decision of the commission to not submit the petition letter, but to communicate with the Senator Villanueva and the other senators through a formal communication, Your Honor.
Dahil kawawa na may tao. Dahil pagkatapos nyo yurakan, well, I'm sorry for bringing this out. Pagkatapos nyo yurakan ng pagkatao ng isang miyembro ng Senado, tapos hindi nyo bibigay yung petisyon sa kanya, itatago nyo na lang, eh the harm has been done. No? Eh, what for is that petition kung hindi nyo ipapadala kay Senator Villanueva? Curious lang.
The intention, I think, Your Honor, by the our office on the Center for Equality and Gender is to submit the petition to Senator Villanueva. But
It is the decision of the commission not to submit, not to forward the petition to the
yes, Your Honor.
senator. All right, have you made representations with Senator Joel? Have you talked to him?
Not yet, Your Honor.
Not yet. When do you plan to talk to him?
Mr. President,
Wait, Mr. President, if I may. Itong nangyari, June pa daw, no? June. Okay? June of this year. Ano na ngayon? November. 5 months. Tama ba? 5 months? 5 months has passed. And you never even attempted to talk to Senator Villanueva.
Actually, Your Honor,
About
before the hearing, the committee hearing, Your Honor, we were seeking audience with the good senator.
Hindi, kung wala pang budget hearing, talaga wala yata kayong plano kausapin si Senator Joel.
Because, Your Honor, the matter was decided by the commission first. It was discussed by the commission. And it was the consensus that time not to send the petition, but to formally communicate instead. Because we recognize that the commission is still a government office and we can always do our advocacy through formal communication.
Mr. President, can I interject with the permission of Senator Joel and Senator Estrada? Thank you for that clarification, Mr. Chairman. That was a very good clarification. Konting clarification lang, no? Kasi tama po yung sinabi mo, Mr. Chairman, CHR na context, di ba? Context. So, is it the position of the commission that if you are against the Sogie bill, you are anti-LGBT?
Against, come again, Your Honor?
Kung ayaw mo ng Sogie bill, anti-LGBT ka na?
No, Your Honor.
No, di ba? Okay. So what is the context kay Joel Villanueva? Have you read yung mga statements sa kanya by some in the LGBT community?
Your Honor, the petition came after the delay in the deliberation of the
Okay.
Sogie.
Let me answer first please answer my question first. No? Tinatanong kita kung hindi mo gusto yung Sogie bill, anti-LGBT ka ba? Sabi mo hindi. And I like that answer. Diba? Because there's a difference between allowing discrimination against LGBT and the provisions of the Sogie bill. Magkaiba yon.
Yes, Your Honor.
There are people who are very much against, I think everyone in the Senate is against any form of discrimination through the LGBT community. Pero hindi ibig sabihin pag may objections ka sa certain provisions sa Sogie, you're anti-LGBT.
Tama.
So before you answer your own questions na hinaabot sa iyo ni attorney because hindi naman yun ang tanong, please answer our questions. My question is, are you aware of the context of statements of some in the LGBT community kay Senator Joel? No, I'm asking you, Mr. Chairman. Don't look at them because I'm not asking them. I'm asking you. Are you aware? Are you aware?
Opo.
O anong sinasabi nila about Joel?
On the Sogie, particularly,
Yes.
Your Honor, nagkakaroon na ho ng delay dun sa deliberation
ano pa?
ng Sogie
Ano pa?
bill.
No, I'm asking you the context. What are they saying about Joel?
Yun po ang alam ko na ano.
Oh, so hindi ka nga aware. Kasi
Not by delay.
they're saying he's a bigot, they're saying he's anti-LGBT.
Yes po. Opo. Tama po.
So alam niyo 'yon.
Yes, sir.
Oh, so if you go on stage and you say, "Mama, pirmahan niyo 'to." Kasi nandun. So you're feeding, that's the context. Di ba, ma'am? I don't know if that was the intention or not. I don't know you personally. I respect your views. I respect the fact that you like the Sogie bill. But we have to find some agreement here. Di ba? So there are some bills na ayaw ko. So if I don't want rice tarification, am I anti-agriculture? Am I anti-farmer? Di ba? So yun yung context kasi doon eh. Di ba? So kailangan ba mag-petition pa kami sa inyo na isubmit nyo yung petition sa amin?
Hindi po.
Oh, but with that 6 months, then those statements against his person, and everything, do you now understand the context?
Opo.
Oh, so do I have to read to you the Universal Declaration of Human Rights?
No need, sir.
Oh. So, did you not violate the right of a senator? Wag na nga senator, as a person. Kasi dapat tayong senador at kayo sa commission, tayo nagpapababa dapat ng temperatura nung hindi nagkakasundo eh. Paano tayo magkakaroon ng tamang batas na papayagan ng dalawang extreme? Yung ayaw sa LGBT community at yung namang galit dun sa ayaw sa Sogie pero hindi naman anti-LGBT. So kung papaypayan natin pareho, magkakasundo ba tayo? So what is the intention of the commission? To pass laws that protect LGBTs or to vilify senators who are not for the Sogie bill?
For the recognition of the rights of the Sogie, the LGBT, Your Honor.
Oh, that's right. There are no other bills that does that.
Meron po yung comprehensive anti-discrimination.
Yeah, and for others that is not acceptable, we respect that.
When we equally support yung both
Yes,
the
but that's not my point eh. The
Yes,
point
Your Honor.
is nga, the commission is now a partisan in hitting the majority leader because he has some concerns with some provisions in Sogie. And because in social media, in the public, in rallies, pinapalabas na anti-LGBT siya, that's very unfair. Do you know Renan Eusebio?
No, Your Honor.
Or can you ask si Attorney Tuala kung kilala niya?
Yusef.
Secgen siya ng LGBT at head siya ng LGBT sa Bulacan. Nationwide. One of the best friends ni Joel. Oh. Do you know Alex Corbonel?
No, Your Honor.
Pareho lang tayo. Sino ba Brad si Alex Corbonel? Okay. That Alex Carbonell. Okay. That, no, but ang point ko, I mean, I'm trying to lower the temperature, ma'am, sir. But the point is nga, if we want to pass the laws, may I ask chairman or yung buong grupo nyo, no? Nakikita nyo yun sa US Congress ngayon? Hindi ba nasa bastusan stage na sila? Di ba? Democrats and Republicans, yung pro and anti-LGBT. Hindi na pro anti-Sogie eh. Pro anti-LGBT na eh. So, hindi na nagkakaintindihan. I mean, sa abortion, which is my main topic, you cannot be in between eh. It's either you're pro or anti-abortion, pro-life or pro-choice, di ba? But dito nililito nga ang tao eh, na kung may problema ka to certain provisions ng Sogie, ako, isa ko talaga yung provisions. And I've been talking to pastors and priests kung saan ako walang problema at saan ako may tanong doon. Di ba? And I've been blessed na I haven't been marked na anti. Maybe it's also my association with some in the LGBT community. I don't know. But I know how Joel feels. Kung baliktarin naman natin, di ba? Kung parang palalabasin natin na yung pro-Sogie sa inyo, di ba, is anti-Christian. Hindi rin naman totoo yun, di ba? Di ba you can be LGBT but pro-Christian?
Tama po.
Di ba? Meaning you love Christians and Christians can love you. Some of the LGBT are proclaimed to be Christians. Some Christians who hate LGBT proclaim to be Christians, pero hindi yun ang tinuturo sa Christians community. You're supposed to love everyone. Di ba? So on both sides, may extreme eh. So I guess the bottom line nito is you're singling out a senator sa konteksto na pinapalabas siyang LGBT, anti-LGBT, tapos gusto nyo, pondahan pa namin budget nyo.
Naintindihan ko po yung...
So if you tell me to fund your budget because eto mga paniniwala nyo and you will be active in the Senate, you will go to his office, you will ask him ano ba problema, you will try to bridge between Senator Risa, the good author of that, and I would testify, I disagree with some provisions, but I would testify napakasipag at hindi nga niya ako tinetext sa ibang bagay, pero tinetext niya ako about that na sana maupuan natin, di ba, Senator Risa? You're there. Yung araw that they were international guests here, she came to all of us. Can we at least take it up? Kasi nga, this is a worldwide yan. So, may respetuhan. I never heard Senator Risa, at least harapan, call me anti-LGBT. But she knows my concern ako. I've never called her naman names or questioned her faith or her religious beliefs or anything because she's the author of Sogie Bill. So siguro I'll end with that question, di ba? What kind of discussion does the Human Rights Commission want? A discussion where we respect each other's human rights o gusto nyo bastusan?
Yung may respeto ho sa each other's human rights, of course.
So if there was a 10,000, 100,000 conservative Christian rally and I go there and start shouting na i-petition natin si ganito, i-petition natin si ganon, i-petition natin ganyan kasi mali ang Sogie. Would you think I'm just anti-Sogie or you would think I'm anti-LGBT?
Well,
Honestly, I mean, we're talking tapatan eh. So if I was a senator, okay lang kasi kung yun ang stand ko, di tawagin nyo rin ako. But as a senator, I'm a senator of everyone. Di ba? Hindi ako naniniwala sa apat na asawa. May mga kaibigan akong Muslim like Adel Tamano, like Robin Padilla, na isa lang asawa. But if they tell me that ang paniniwala nila ay pwedeng apat, I respect their belief, they respect my belief. Di ba? Hindi ako tumatayo sa stage at sabihin, papirmahin natin na si Robin, talikuran ng paniniwala niya, dapat isang asawa lang. Diba? Kasi there's a thin line between believing in monogamy and being anti-Muslim. Magkaiba yon. So kami ni Robin, parati kaming magkausap. Did I ever make you feel, Senator, that I'm anti-Muslim? But you know I'm a Christian, di ba? Oh. And he's never made me feel that he hates Christians. In fact, he makes me feel loved. Kaya nga magkabarkada kami. Diba? So, yun lang ang tanong ko. I know you have very strong feelings about it. And I know si Attorney Twyla, you're representing a sector who wants certain changes in the country, but you're not gonna get it if that's going to be your strategy. Diba? That's why nga sabi ko, kung nasa labas ka ng commission, yun ang strategy mo, anong magagawa natin? Kung nasa labas ako ng Senado, yun ang ano ko, anong magagawa nyo? Pero nasa loob ako ng Senado, representing the Senate, di ba? Hindi pwede yon. So the last point I want to make is this. Hindi namin matanggap yung inyong definition ng focal. Kasi in any commission, kaya nga kayo commission, consensus-driven kayo. At the very worst case, majority. So you make a decision first, then you assign it. So the Supreme Court does not assign it to a ponente, and then the ponente tells the majority kung ano gusto niya. Hindi. May decision muna sila. So sometimes nga may dalawang ponente. Yung sa negative, positive. Kung saan ang majority, ikaw ngayon magsusulat. So don't wash your hands. Diba? So it's either you authorize that focal at yan ang stand ng commission or baliktad. Hindi yun ang stand ng commission at ultra vires o lumampas na yung focal person mo sa pwede niyang sabihin. Diba? So, gawin natin klaro yun. Kasi kung hindi maintindihan ng someone like Joel Villanueva, who's a very bright person, who's a very patient person, kanino ba tong statement? Is it personal? And did she go overboard and use the name of the commission? Is it a stand of the commission, etc., etc.? And you, ma'am, pasensya na, if there's one thing lang that I disagree with you tonight, this morning, yung sinabi mo, your statement is based on. Diba? Kasi I can be shouting at all of you. Then he said, saan galing yung statement? That's based on the Bible. Wala naman sa Bible na pagsisigawan ko kayo eh. Wala rin sa Bible na i-konteksto ko kayo na ganito kayo, tapos sabihin ko, ganun ang gawin nyo. Diba? So, kasi kung yun ang stand nyo, you could have said that during the parade. Diba? Na we want change in this country. The Senate should be for change. The Sogie bill is stuck. Diba? The CHR will advocate para magbago. Diba? Eh, hindi ganun eh. Na-personal tayo eh. Diba? I mean, it excuses na lang eh. Na kay Joel, na kay ganyan, etc., etc. tayo. Diba? So, let me end there. Diba? But ang point ko nga, sabi nga ni Senator Tolentino sa akin, alam mo, simple lang to eh. Pag may nagkakamali, mag-sorry, di sorry. But ang problema kasi dito siguro, pareho tayong nag-iiwas. Na pag nag-sorry, we're not saying sorry for our sector that we represent or for the advocacy that we're fighting for. Diba? So ako, I respect what you're fighting for. I respect your advocacy, etc. But the way you did it, na commission kayo ng CHR, is not acceptable. It's not being done in a civilized way. Even in a rally. Even in a setting ng rally. But it's also a reminder for me. Pag nag-attend ako ng kahit anong rally, etc., I have to remind myself I'm a senator. Except siguro during the campaign period, di ba? Kasi nga, hinihiwalay mo talaga yung, yung sa issue eh. Di ba? So, Mr. Chairman, would you want a few minutes to confer? And
Yes,
to come out with something para matapos natin tong issue na to, at least kay Senator Villanueva.
Yes, please.
Yeah, if you want to make an appeal after 2-3 minutes of talking them, appeal, Senator, we're hoping that you will take up the Sogie bill. So that's good. Pero narinig mo din siya. He's saying, we're hoping the commission will also look at the comprehensive discrimination bill. So let's listen to each other. But then you can make a stand. You can say na, in the opinion of the CHR, mas powerful ang Sogie kasudan. So we can agree and to disagree. Kung ganon, di ba? Ako, I'll read both. So, Mr. President, can we give them a minute just to confer and just to, then of course, feel free to say what you really want to say. Hindi naman puwersahan to eh.
Yes, Your Honor. We regret how the Senate felt about what happened about the petition, especially Senator Villanueva. The CHR commits in improving the processes, its processes. As our mantra says, kami ang CHR ng lahat, naglilingkod maging sino ka man. And we are fully committed to work with the entire Senate in refining the Sogie Equality Bill, and so we equally support the Comprehensive Anti-Discrimination Bill.
Mr. President, akala ko po hindi pa niya nabasa, pero support na po siya. But I'll take it, Mr. President. But may I just be clarified, Mr. President, again, for the last time, may I ask if they regret the fact that this happened? The statements made by Attorney Tuayla. So are they now saying that what happened and the statements made by Attorney Tuayla is not the position of the Commission on Human Rights?
Yung position, yung statement. But it's not an official statement.
It's not an official statement, Your Honor, of the Commission.
So it is not the official stand of the position. And that's why, as you mentioned, Your Honor, the Commission regret what happened. Regret the fact that someone from CHR misrepresented the Commission. Is that a correct statement, Your Honor?
The statements uttered by Attorney Tuayla, Your Honor, during that
Does not reflect the position of
of
the entire
the
Commission.
entire Commission, Your Honor, but the Commission has a stand on the passage of the Sogie law.
I don't mind, Mr. President. I will accept that. So meaning to say, the actions, statements made by a representative of CHR is not the position of CHR.
Yes, Your Honor. During that activity.
During that activity, the video that was played in this August chamber. Thank you, Mr. President. I accept that statement made by our chairman, but let me also put into the records, Mr. Chairman, kung magkaiba po ang nangyari. For example, may tumayo po sa stage, kunyari sa stage ng isang event, ang isang CHR official, at sabihin po, magpipetisyon din po siya doon sa author ng Sogie. Baligtarin po natin, anti-Sogie naman po siya, Mr. President. Tatayuan ko din po yun, Mr. President, because I don't think CHR is doing its job by protecting the rights of a senator. Kahit po baligtad kami ng posisyon. I just wanted to put that on record, Mr. President. Mr. President, before I move to another.
Mr. President, Mr. Majority Leader, I just would like to echo what the chairman had mentioned earlier, that it was the official stand of the commission. And may I ask if you are retracting your previous answer to me? Because don't make me look like a dumb senator here. Because I was just relaying to my colleagues what your answer was.
I'm very
When
sorry,
I
Your
was
Honor.
asking you if it was the official stand of the commission, you answered me in the affirmative side, Mr. President.
I'm very sorry for that, Your Honor. It was the official stand of the Commission to advocate for the passage of the Sogie bill, Your Honor. But with regard to the actions that were made during that activity, no, Your Honor.
I think that's clear now, Mr. President.
Yeah, may I add
Thank
to
you.
that?
Mr. Pre-
Majority Leader, may I add to that? And I'm glad that we realized the folly of what had gone on, Chairman, is because once it becomes, well, we understand, I mean, we're in public service, we cannot be onion-skinned, but
But we're not.
when it comes, and we're not onion-skinned, but, and I've had experiences where effigies have been burned when I was majority leader during the time of the previous administration, when we passed the measure, and our effigies were being burned in front of the Batasan. It's par for the course. It's okay. We grow to take it. But when it comes from a government agency, di ba? Kasi nangyari, I think, and I feel for Senator Joel, because when that video had come out in a big crowd like that, obviously kagad yung mga messages sa kanyang Facebook, social media, you're a bigot, why are you like that? Masama kang tao, parang asama ng you're homophobic and all that. And I know this man very well, and he's got a lot of good friends that are from the LGBT community, and he looks at them equally like everyone else. So I think that's the difference there. So if it was an NGO that's shouting our names and insulting us on stage, okay lang po yun. But when it's a government agency that tells people that there's a senator or a congressman who is against our measure, we obviously know that we will be getting a barrage of hate text. And your Commission on Human Rights, we also have human rights, right? We also have the right to defend ourselves. We also have a right to live peacefully on this earth that we love, in our country that we love. So once the hate texts, kanina nga, nakatanggap kami ng hate text, may isang ahensya, isang head of agency, tinext si Senator Risa, tinext ako, tinext yung mga senator, ano ba kayo? Bilisan nyo, tatagal nyo dyan. I mean, she didn't even know Senator Risa padala lang ng text hate to the lady, and we got pretty much upset because that's not how we function in a civilized society. So we can agree to disagree, but let's be agreeable on how we do it. Diba? We do it. We have to be able to, show some respect to each other, not just because we're senators, but just to each other. Because once you're in a gathering like that, and I go to a gathering and I say that, and I mention a particular individual, for sure there's going to be a reaction of hate, support and hate from the community. So that, I guess, that is how my colleague, that's how he felt. And we commensurate with him. We've been through that before, many times, many occasions. So I hope you understand where we're coming from, Chairman.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. President, Your Honors.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I just ask, Mr. President, among the basis of discrimination, is there such thing as a hierarchy, Mr. Chairman? Hierarchy, for example, is Sogie-based discrimination more important than discrimination based on age, the discrimination based on health, ethnicity, discrimination against color or height, Mr. President? May hierarchy po ba ito? Because it appears, Mr. President, dun sa nangyari nga po, parang we're putting more emphasis on this when Filipinos are also being discriminated based on other factors, Mr. President. But again, I think Senator Cayetano founded this last time, no less than our Constitution. The 1987 Constitution mandates the CHR to protect and promote the rights and dignity of every human being in the country.
There's no such hierarchy, Your Honor, in terms of
So
discrimination.
it's the same po.
Yes, Your Honor.
Kaya po kasi, for example, Mr. President, and I don't know if CHR made a statement when religious people were offended by that certain person, ano ba yung name niya? Si Pura Vega, if I'm not mistaken. May we know if CHR made a statement about it? Kasi na-offend po yung religious sector. In fact, doon po sa Maynila, sa Bukidnon, sa iba't ibang lugar ng Pilipinas, nag-file po sila ng kaso doon po sa tao na yun. Kasi kasi karapatan din po. Hindi naman pwede yung karapatan mo pagbibigyan kita at the expense nung isang individual.
There was no press statement
hindi
or
po kayo.
official statement
So,
issued, Your Honor.
yun nga po, sir. Kaya po, siguro naitanong ko kanina, baka may hierarchy. Kasi parang mas mataas yung hierarchy pagka gender issues yung pinag-uusapan. Pero yung religious sector, hindi natin na po protektahan. Tingin ko po, mandato rin ng CHR, yung binabanggit ng ating konstitusyon, to protect and promote the rights and dignity of every human being in the country. Noong pong isang araw, there's this trans po yata, Miss Jade So, performer din siya, ng drug performer din po siya. She claimed na yung personnel po of a waxing salon repeatedly misgendered her and was hesitant to give her service for not disclosing that she was not female. Doon po sa storya na yon, naisip ko lang po kasi yung worker, hindi siya komportable na mag-Brazilian wax na lalaki po pala siya, pero ang feeling niya babae po siya, pero babae po yung worker. I feel, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, na dapat protektahan ko din po yung manggagawa, yung karapatan ng manggagawa, na hindi po siya komportabling gawin yun. And yet, binatikos po siya na sabi, dapat gawin niya yun. Parang, ang hirap po kasi yun po yung ino-objectan ko doon sa Sogie bill noong nakaraang pagdinig dito sa Senado. Kasi, ang gobyerno parang, force ba ako ng gobyerno, katulad doon sa example na yon, nagawin ko yung bagay na hindi ako komportabling gawin, na i-subject mo ako sa isang bagay na hindi ako komportabling gawin, opo, nandun yung respeto ko. Pero para pilitin po ako na gawin po yun, parang paano ho yung karapatan ng isang manggagawa? Again, may question, Mr. President, meron po bang statement ng CHR para protektahan yung pong karapatan noong manggagawa na yun dun sa isang waxing salon?
Wala pa hong na-issueng statement ng Commission on Human Rights tungkol dyan,
Salamat
but
po,
we will look
Mr.
into
Chairman.
it, Your Honor.
Marami pong salamat. I think, Mr. Chairman, distinguished colleagues, makikiusap po ako at aapil kahit kay Senator Risa sa ating mga kasamahan, supporter ng Sogie Bill. Makikiusap po ako, buong pagpapakumbaba. Baka po pwede na lahat ng sektor, galangin lang natin sa CHR. Parang awa nyo na po. Protektahan natin yung kanilang mga karapatan. Yan po ang ating mandato. Yan po yung dahilan bakit po ako nakatayo dito, hindi po para sa aking sarili. Sapagkat alam ko, ito yung tama, ito yung dapat gawin. For the information of everyone present here today, what I mentioned to the chairman before he left me, here in this August chamber, here in this particular spot, I just asked him, and please confirm this, Mr. Chairman, to just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Just do the right thing. Ayaw natin na may tatapakan na karapatan just because we wanted to please one individual, one particular sector at the expense of another. I hope, Mr. Chairman, I can go on and on with questions, but I think it's also crystal clear, Mr. President, Mr. Chairman, na importante ho, maiparating natin yung tamang mensahe sa ating mga kababayan. Ano man ang relihiyon mo, ano man ang paniniwala mo, ano man ang kulay mo, dapat protektahan ang iyong karapatan. Sapagkat yan ang sagradong mandate ng bawat isa sa atin bilang mga kawani ng pamahalaan, to uphold and protect the rights of every individual, of every Filipino. Maraming salamat, Mr. Chairman. Maraming salamat, Mr. President.